Hello and welcome back to Joe's Math Tools, where math is made easy. In our session today, we are calculating a rational equation by using our lowest common denominator. So if you're ready to see how this is done, let's get started. To begin solving our rational equation today, we're going to first start by finding our LCD. So that's going to be our first step, finding our LCD of our expression 3b plus 7 and 2. Now in finding our LCD for these two different terms in our denominator, remember that your denominator must be made up out of both parts. And since we never separate the expression, which is 3b plus 7, that means that our LCD will be made up of our two parts with 2 on the outside and 3b plus 7, our expression, on the inside. So that would be our denominator for this equation. So now that we have our LCD, we're now going to convert our fractions into their equivalent form where both parts of our fraction has the same LCD. So let's start with our first fraction, and we will be multiplying that to the LCD. And I'm going to say it like I said it many times before, whenever you are finding your LCD, do not expand your parentheses of the denominator that you made. Leave it as is, so that when you get to this step and you're going to be canceling out, it'll be a whole lot easier to just cancel what is common and then multiply what we have remaining behind. Okay, so let's begin our canceling. So our 3b plus 7 will cancel, leaving us with just 2, and 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So the first fraction with its LCD will have 8 in its numerator. So now that we have converted our first fraction into its equivalent form, let's now do the exact same thing with our second fraction, which is 1/2. And again, that will be multiplied to our LCD. And then for our next step, we will begin to cancel what is common, which is our 2. So our 2 will cancel, leaving us with 1 times 3b plus 7. And we know that anything multiplied to 1 will be the exact same thing. So we will be putting back our 3b plus 7. So now that our fractions are in their equivalent form, we are now going to just work with our numerators without the denominator. So we have 8 is equal to 3b plus 7. Let's collect our like terms. So 8 minus 7 will equal to 3b. 8 minus 7 is 1, equal to 3b. Now applying our one-step equation steps, where we will be dividing both sides of our equation by 3 to get our variable b by itself. So our b will be equal to 1/3. Okay, so now that we've solved for b, let's perform our next step and check to see if our b, which is equal to 1/3, just justify the solution for our equation. So let's see if this answer is indeed valid. And we will have to simplify the denominator first before we do anything. So we have 3, 1/3 in parentheses, being added to 7, applying our simplifying fraction rule. So 3 will divide to itself once, 3 will divide to itself once. 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 plus 7 will equal to 8. So we have 4 8s equal to 1/2. And looking at these two fractions right away, I know most of you probably already realize it. We have what we call again an equivalent fraction, and this is where our two fractions value or their amount is the same, but the fractions have different numbers. And I'm going to show you how you can, I guess, test to see if it is equivalent or verify that it is equivalent. And I'm going to start with our multiplication first. And in using the multiplication, I will be multiplying my 1/2 to get my denominators the same. So 1/2 will be multiplied to 4 because 4 times 2 is 8 and 1 times 4 is 4. So this is the multiplication approach that you can take to find the LCD of your fractions. But remember that there is another way that you can also test that, and that is also by division. So I will also show you how you can check the answer using the equivalent fraction method by using division. So for this one, I'm going to put the 1/2 back since I will be dividing in this case instead of multiplying. And my 4 will be divided by 4, and my 8 will be divided by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, 8 divided by 4 is 2. And you notice that both of these fractions, even though the numbers are different, they still worked out the exact same thing, testing and showing that my answer B is equal to 1/3 is indeed the correct solution for this equation. So remember to get some additional practice in, and we'll see you right here again in the next video on Jules Math Tools, where we make math easy.